everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the stream for the Summer Cosplay Contest Series June Qualifier presented by Nerd Caliber. My name is Pat, I also go by the Covenator, and I'm happy to have everybody here on this nice, warm, muggy June date. This is our first qualifier for the Summer Series competition. I am beyond ecstatic to help organize and run this. We kind of put this together in only like a couple of weeks, and it's one of those like we're ecstatic to be doing this. This is the very first one. It's going to get crazier and crazier as we go along because, yeah, it's a fun contest series. We're giving out cash prizes. So for each qualifier, we're actually giving the winner $100 in cash, and then they compete in the finals in August. On August 22nd, that's a Saturday night. And they're going to be competing against the July qualifier and the August qualifier winners, which the August qualifier is actually taking place before the finals. So I'm pumped tonight. We've got a great group of contestants. We got a great group of judges. I've got he's a funny host, I guess, that are here tonight. And I'm here to introduce everybody. So real quick, I'm going to start and I'm going to introduce our judges first. So our very first judge, I'm going to pull them up on the screen right now for everybody. This is BD Character Lab. BD Character Lab is a cosplayer from Florida, originally from New Hampshire. He is a big big costume maker. He's made several different costumes over the years. He is a multi-time award winner, competing at the likes of like MegaCon. Please give it up for Brian.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me.
Are you ecstatic for tonight?
I am.
I'm like, I'm. This is great. I'm already dying of
Ooh.
heat from wearing this jacket because stupid me, I forgot to turn the fan on directly behind me.
Oh, it's like 99 here, so
It's I think it's about 84 degrees outside, but very humid out. And you know, it happens unfortunately. Um, but I got to bring in our next judge. Our next judge, as they will be brought up on the screen. Our next judge is Gogo Incognito. She is, and this is her bio, sexy nerd who will rock your world. This geek cheek super freak, don't say that 10 times fast, is an award-winning published cosplayer, video hostess, nerd news live streamer, and nerdy performer. She's the founder and producer of Dirty Nerdy Burlesque, the 2019 headliner for the Winnipeg International Burlesque Festival, and has worked for the DragonCon Bunny Hutch event as a headliner and head costume judge. She's served on multiple geek-themed and cosplay panels and has performed nerdlesque at cons around the country. Hardcore glamour nerd with a passion for intelligent feminist, intersectional geek arts. Give it up for Gogo Incognito as she joins in on the stream.
Hello. I gave you a lot of big words there, didn't I, Pat?
Oh my goodness. And I can't say some of those words too fast because it's just like, oh my goodness, I'm going to stumble with my own words.
Well, very, very happy to be here. I, unlike you, did get my air conditioning going before I put on this big old wig. This is actually my burlesque Cersei. So there's places where it unties, but we're not going to do that tonight, right?
No, tonight we're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch right now, so we want to make sure we're keeping it very much not rated R, or we can ride that line with PG-13 because this is an adult event of sorts. So a certain host has to be mindful of what he says. So our next judge that we are bringing is hailing from Canada. He is Treats Cosplay, a multi-time award-winning cosplayer from Calgary, of course. His focus is in construction, fine detail, specializing in, but not limited to, sewing and garment construction, jewelry making, beadwork, embroidery, and leather work. These specialties most recently led to the championship win in the 2019 Masters of Cosplay Grand Prix. has a vast appreciation for all forms of craftsmanship and is always looking for mastery in all skills used in construction of a costume, as well as new and innovative techniques incorporated. Joining us now on the stream is our judge, Treats Cosplay, as we transition back. How you doing, Treats?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Is it hot out in Calgary right now?
It's kind of been a rainy day, so it's not too bad. I'm appreciating it. I'm in a lot of velvet, so.
Yeah, you're definitely fully decked out compared to me, and everybody else that we've got currently on the call. Yeah, I'm ecstatic. This is going to be a fun night, and thankfully no thunderstorms happening here, because if that were to happen, we would have a problem right now. So,
for sure.
Our very last person that I have to introduce tonight. Now, you guys see on the list that I actually had 4 judges. Unfortunately, Castle Courses 3 could not make it tonight. So that means I'm going to bring on our host of tonight's event. Give it up for Jim Dupool, a.k.a. Boston Deadpool, a.k.a. the Merc with the Mouth who just keeps going.
Oh my God, so many buttons to push on this damn phone. Woo! Hey, what's up, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm turning my mic volume up because apparently I'm a little quiet. But I'm doing fantastic tonight. Just a little hot, like I said.
No worries, no worries. I like that jacket.
I know. It's repping my boy Archie, who I just told these guys before we started the stream that I am Archie fan from, because the creator is actually from New Hampshire. Started in Haverhill, but he moved to New Hampshire and did a lot for up here. So definitely
get out.
Like all
That's
great.
super cool.
Yep.
Oh my God! So how many contestants do we got tonight? What are we doing here? What am I doing here?
Okay, so tonight, for everybody watching, we only have actually a couple of contestants because we kind of anticipated this to be a small contest to start, and we figured July and August is going to be it's going to be a lot crazier. I'm actually turning my microphone up a bit more because I'm still getting the head up that my microphone doesn't sound that loud. So that means I'm going to move my microphone a little bit more. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
So we have only tonight, we have 5 entrants, believe it or not.
Hey, do more with less. You know what I'm saying?
We've got 5 amazing contestants tonight. I'm very happy that the 5 contestants we have are outstanding. We expect to have more contestants for the July and August qualifier. Like I said, we only started this a couple weeks ago, so it's only going to get bigger. So, judges, I am going to get you guys back over into the waiting room. So bear with me a moment because I got to stop everybody's video and mute everybody, which is always a fun and fine and dandy thing.
Except me.
Except for you. Yes, except for you.
So who do we have first on our list for tonight?
What's that?
Who's first?
Who's first? You really want to jump right into it right off the bat? Oh my God.
I mean, I guess I could talk about myself for a minute.
Well, you talk about yourself for a minute because there's a lot of people that are watching that don't know who you are.
Oh, okay. So I'm Ultimate Deadpool from the Ultimate Spider-Man comics in the early 2000s. Now, a lot of people don't like this one. I don't blame them because he kind of sucked in the comics. But in the video game, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, they brought him back and he was voiced by Nolan North. He's my favorite Deadpool voice actor. So I played the game and I was like, you know what? I'm doing it. And I'm the only person in the world with this costume because I made it, freehanded it myself, made my own patterns. Boo freaking yeah. It's awesome. I love it. It's okay. He came back in Deadpool Kills Deadpool, which came out before I was in the Marine Corps. That was pretty cool. He came back, but he died instantly in one panel. So, hey, it's whatever.
that unfortunately does happen with certain comic book characters. But, again, it's comics, so we can expect the character to be coming back anytime.
Oh, yeah. It'll be like a Death of Superman. They'll make mistakes. They'll bring him back. It won't be as good, and he won't be as powerful, and no one will take death seriously in comic books ever again.
Nope. None whatsoever, even though it's Deadpool.
Hey, wait. Didn't Batman die, too, allegedly? Didn't he get, like, a mega beam to the face?
For the Letterkenny fans. Allegedly. All right.
They'll never kill Batman.
So I'm also being asked your cosplay history. What's your cosplay history like?
My history, let's see. I've been doing this since 2011. I had a regular old classic Deadpool outfit from I got in China, of all places. They have like the best sweatshops over there. They make the best outfits. I swear to God. So I got one and got it actually for a Halloween costume contest. I didn't do too well. I was just there for the laughs. Then I went to Boston Comic Con 2011. To where I met my my wife. She's at work, but yeah, I met her there. And then I just kept going. I'm going home. I got a X-Force one where he's gray. I made a green one for Death Wish and for St. Patrick's Day. I have a blue and yellow Deadpool for Boston Strong from the Boston bombings. I have Batpool. I have my cowl right over there. That's still a big fan pleaser. That still goes around on the internet. You know how many times I get notifications for that thing? Like, hey, you're internet famous again. Ugh, what else is new?
I think your pink one's probably one of the more famous ones.
Say again?
Your pink one.
Oh, yeah, the pink one. How can I forget that one? That one's for breast cancer awareness. That was right. I swear I didn't put too much bleach in the wash. It was actually pink when I made it. When did I debut that? I think I did that back in 2013. Now, do you remember when they were doing the fundraiser for Deadpool 2? They made the whole movie suit pink?
I do.
Yo, I must have dumped like $100 trying to win that thing. I didn't get it.
But in all reality,
Replica,
they actually just stole your costume.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I tried to tweet out to friggin' Ryan Reynolds. I was like, hey, man, it's Jim, Boston's Deadpool. Been doing this for like 6 years. Hey, glad you're on for the cause. Yo, get me a suit on the down low. You know what I'm saying, dog? Hit me up. But he never got back to me. Oh, well.
It's because you were dressed as Deadpool and he knew better.
I'm pretty sure somebody at Marvel watches, like, somebody's, like, spying on me. I see a lot of the shit that we do in the comics. Not in the comics, yeah, all the stuff that we do, like that giant banana. I'm not even going to explain the banana. I want to leave that a mystery.
I still, that one panel still blows my mind. It's just like, oh my God, they literally saw a picture of Jim holding the banana and they put that into a comic panel.
Yeah,
Whoever the
right?
artist was.
That was so weird. I felt very unsafe and uncomfortable after a while. That's when I started taping my camera.
All right. So, are you ready for the first contestant?
Yeah. Are they ready for me?
I don't know if they're ready for you. I think the contestants are at the ready, though. So our first contestant coming today is Mink the Satyr. So her costume construction, she's toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. She made this predominantly from leather. Each armor piece is patterned from scratch, hand-tooled, wet-shaped, heat-formed, hand-painted, and assembled. The armor includes a headpiece, bodice, pauldron, bracer, 2 leather skirts, a belt, and an articulated tail. Again, I can't be saying that too fast.
Man, I'm already lost. Wow.
There's a lot of information to take from there. The wings are made from EVA foam, as my dog decides he wants to start barking. The shield is made from pine plywood and has been cut using a CNC machine. It is patterned off of authentic Viking wood shields. Authentic. It features a steel shield boss as well. So, give it up for our first contestant today, Mink the Satyr, as she's joining back in. There we go. How are you doing today?
Hey, Mink, what's up?
I am blessed and highly favored. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm going to pass it over to Jim so he can get you all... Well, let's find out.
Mink, how are you? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Cubby was just going over your entire costume. You made everything by scratch, it sounds?
Yeah, that was one of my favorite things to do about cosplay is to just start from the ground up and just build my own stuff.
Or to make it truly yours.
That's right.
That's excellent. So can you go over some of the details, the intricate parts of your costume?
Oh yeah, the highlight reel. This is where I Amish zoom the camera because I feel like my crown will give you some semblance of what's going on. So you see all those tiny little scales?
Yeah.
So each of those is stamped. I have a metal stamp.
So
every single one of those, I have to just be angry and anvil and hammer all. There's like tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of scales on my physical person right now.
That's crazy. Wow. And you stamped all that in there?
Oh yeah. Some jerk banged up my car when I made it, so it was really easy for me to like work out a lot of the anger issues I had.
Frustration,
while waiting for the car insurance to kick in. You know how it goes.
Oh, I'm very well aware. I'm very well aware. That's really cool. So you just spent how long did that take you to do all the scales?
Oh, it took me hours and hours and hours. It's got to have been, if not in the tens of hours, then possibly in the close to 100 hours. I watched a lot of seasons of Psych working on it.
I was gonna ask you, were you binging anything while you were doing it, or like listen to some
I gotta binge my Psych. You gotta watch something that's interesting, but something you've seen a lot of, because when it comes to repetitive work, you need anything to cut the silence.
Yes, this is true. This is true. So what else on your costume did you spend a lot of time on? How about your wings?
So the wings, hard to give you the full schmagil of that. So this is super, super lightweight because it's made out of foam, which is great because if you've ever had something on your back all day, it hurts. Plus, I've got to lug this bad boy.
Whoa!
Like,
whoa, look at that!
Woo!
Whoa, that is super cool. How did you make that shield?
So this is made out of actual wood and actual steel.
How heavy?
Oh yeah, this thing, if it wasn't for it being plywood, I'm sure it would function as an actual shield. I've made actual shields like this before, but they are very heavy, and I have to hold this one left-handed. And as they say in The Princess Bride, I am not left-handed.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. I heard that you had a tail too.
Oh my god, the tail is like the coolest part. So
show me.
This is gonna be the worst because now I have to stand up and show the camera my butt. I don't even know if this is working. I'm standing on my couch.
Ooh, look at that! Wow. Talking about your. Wow.
I like the phantom hand that's happening right now.
Oh yes, the magical hands coming out of the side.
Thanks, baby.
That's cool. I like your kilt too. That's got all the spikes and stuff on it.
Yep, those are murder spikes. They're actual steel spikes. Each
Murder
one of those
spikes.
is about I want to say 1 inch to 1.5 inches tall.
Wow, that
So
seems
it makes
pretty
getting down
dangerous.
a challenge.
Well, that's awesome. Well, now I see there's a symbol on your shoulder.
Yeah, so Toothless has a missing flank of his tail. So this kind of became the emblem when Hiccup made his tail prosthetic.
That's right.
So I made sure to incorporate this icon throughout the costume because it's really important for me to design this costume to look like if Toothless were a human living in Burke, what she would be physically wearing. Yes, I know Toothless is a dude. Whatever. I'm not a dude.
That's fine.
I'm a gender bend crossplay. It's perfect.
It's 2020. No judgment, baby. That's the best
right.
part about being
And
alive.
it's Pride Month, so come on.
That's super cool. So I haven't seen the newest movie where they have the white Toothless. Have you seen that one yet?
Okay, unpopular opinion. The third movie was okay, but the second movie was the best.
Really? Okay. All right.
If you saw the second movie, you're set.
The white dragon to me will always be called the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Oh, for sure. You gotta play that card last so that Yugi can really sweat.
Yep.
Oh boy, Yu-Gi-Oh.
All right. Trap card.
So what's your favorite part of your costume, and why did you want to choose Toothless?
Toothless is certainly my favorite dragon in media because it's also part cat, and that's really adorable. I fell in love with the movie. I fell in love with the audiobook as narrated by David Tennant, which is just a good time.
He's a Doctor Who guy, isn't he? Isn't he a doctor?
Oh, whoa, best doctor. I'd say my favorite part of this costume is my tail. It's an articulated tail. I worked really hard to give it that cool design so it looks like the ridges on Toothless's tail going down his back.
Yeah.
And I designed it and made it during several breaks during work. So it was one of those things where it was like, shh, close the door, don't tell anyone. I'm working on not work.
Oh man, so you were working on it at your job? You weren't
Don't tell,
okay.
I say, streaming live to everybody.
This is what we call the cosplay handles.
Yeah, we can cut that out. We can cut that out, right?
It was my lunch break. It was fine. It was just several lunch breaks.
Yeah, we can cut out it on a live stream.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Yeah, definitely. So it could be done. It could be done. Well, that you look fantabulous. I wish I could see it in person, but even through the phone, it looks fantastic on my end.
Oh, bless you. Thanks.
All
Oh,
right.
I didn't sneeze, but thanks.
All right. I'm bringing back our judges who might have some questions for you. So they're getting the notifications as you guys see on the stream as they start
Yeah, bring
joining
them in.
back
Bring
up.
them in. See what questions they got.
I actually do have a question for you, Mick. The rounded steel part of the shield.
Yes.
How did you make that?
So that is a shield boss. I did not make the shield boss because it's rather difficult to get a hold of that kind of steel. So I did purchase that element.
It would have been if you were like, I have this whole other room where I do smelting and blah blah blah. I was like, oh.
While I do have blacksmith friends who I'm sure would have been happy to help me, this one was a purchase.
Gotcha.
Treat, you
I
got
have a
any
question
questions?
about the wings because they're gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Is the attachment a strap or is it like a kind of a PVC kind of you plug it in and you're already wearing a kind of a...
No, it's strapped
Something
onto me like a backpack.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd also like to see the actual stem of the wing. That looks like a nice little
Mhm.
over. What is that?
Oh, here, let me turn around and try not to knock the TV that's in front of me. Can you guys see it? I can't.
Can see a little bit.
Okay. What is happening?
I'm trying to show the tail, but you're too close to the
We're
camera.
looking at the wings.
Yeah, tails. Cool.
I can move your hair.
Perfect.
Sorry.
Phantom hand.
Okay. Little cross. It's super clean.
Thank you.
What were the wings made of again?
As I turn back to you, they're made out of EVA foam.
Okay.
I
The
put
one solid sheet.
12 gauge steel wire to give it that nice articulation that you see, because otherwise it would be boring as hell. It is not one solid piece. It's, I think, like 3 solid pieces. I tried to get one solid piece, but unfortunately the wing dimension is just too big. It's actually tip to tip. Before I articulated it so that it would have a nice little bend, they're taller than I am.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Very cool.
Judges, you have any
So
other
about
questions?
6 feet long.
No, I think that on my end it was very well explained and shown off, so I'm good.
Thank you. Sorry that we've had to kind of move within the confines of the little box I'm in.
Hey, no worries.
It's all right.
I do
got
have just
the-
one question, just in case.
Of course.
If I missed it, if it was already explained. Was it an original design for your toothless, or was it based off of an artist?
Yes, this is my original design. So I did a lot of
love it.
research looking at the character designs for both main characters as well as background characters in the original source materials, the How to Train Your Dragon source material, so that the costume that I produced would fit within the universe.
That is fantastic.
Thanks.
All right. Perfect. Okay, so thank you very much, Mink. I'm going to real
Yeah,
quick
thanks, man.
show
Thank you
I'm gonna
guys.
showcase the costumes for everybody else on the stream, so they're gonna see more of the photos while I get everybody else situated. Lots and lots and lots of buttons I gotta hit, so I'm getting that all, and I figured you guys don't need to see everything. You guys can get it all set, as I gotta get everything all taken care of. All right, so our next contestant, Jim, are you at the ready for the next contestant?
Yes, can you hear me? Can you
Yeah.
hear me, Scotty? Scotty,
can
beat me
hear
up.
you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I'm going Batman.
Excellent. I'm Batman.
All right. Our next contestant is Chris LaValle. He is dressed as an Iron Cyberman, which is a combination from the Cybermen from Doctor Who and a Marvel mashup. The
Ooh,
suit,
I love mashups.
the suit is constructed from patterns using EVA foam that he airbrushed and painted in all the time that he had. I'm getting him on right now, and I'm real quick showcasing the costume to everybody on the stream. So now they don't see Mink, they see the Cyberman costume. So let's bring up our main screen again. There we go. How you doing today, Chris?
I am Cyberman.
You know the rest of the riff. Dude, you look great. Wow.
Thank you.
Whoa, that's super cool. Wow. I'm like trying to like get a good look at it on my phone. Wow. Yeah, that's cool. Wow. So you made that out of EVA foam?
This is all EVA foam.
Wow. How do you get it to bend like that?
It's the way you cut it. You heat shape it. You get your little hair dryer and you heat it up. You bend.
So all right. So you just said you use heat to bend it. I'm not familiar with armor. I just sew. So everything armor related is over my head.
Yep. It's all heat formed. Best part about foam, you heat it, it stays put.
Ooh, and it doesn't melt in the sun if you leave it in the car, right? Oh no, your audio, it's breaking up. Oh my god, I can't understand him.
It's a robot.
Cubby, what's happening?
His audio is a little bit on the funky side. Unfortunately, the downside, doing everything live, sometimes we have a little bit of problem with audio. Chris, we can still hear you, so give a quick rundown.
I did this one. Hold on. Sorry, allow me that. It's very hot in this, as you can imagine.
He's a handsome man.
Thank you. I did this suit because, well, when I did the Cybermen, the Who fans love it, but you always get the kids who don't really quite know who. So like, are you Iron Man? So you have to agree. Yeah, I'm Iron Man. So now, I make both forms happy.
That's cool. So you like bring awareness to like Doctor Who to those who don't know it, right?
Exactly. And it's Tony Stark's ultimate upgrade.
Yeah, I bet. That's so. Can I see the back of you?
Absolutely.
Ooh. Now I noticed your chest lights up too.
Yep, I found that. It's a nice little. It's a puck light.
Oh, look at that! Oh, that's super fun.
When I build a suit, I try to find like the simplest solution to a problem. I was looking at people doing crazy LED work and lights, and they looked awesome, but more time and effort than I had. So.
Yeah, you do what you can with what you got. More with less, right? That's the theme of this podcast. More with less. Well, it looks great, my man. So how long did it take you to paint?
This took about 2 or 3 weeks to paint. It's a lot of coats.
How many coats would you say?
To get a nice deep red, about 7 coats.
Wow, that's a lot. Ooh.
Well, they're thin. It's an airbrush, so it takes a while.
I'm curious to see what your boots look like. Is there any way we can see your boots?
I might be able to figure that out.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, you did such a good job with the paint. Now, you airbrushed that? I think that's what Cubby said.
Excuse me?
You airbrushed it, right? I think that's what
Yes.
Cubby said.
Yep. It's all, I bought an airbrush kit years ago with prize money from a contest, and best investment ever.
Hell yeah, using that prize contest money. Excellent. That's super cool. All right, man. Cubby, do the judges want to come in and ask him other questions? Armor is over my head. They may think of something I haven't thought of yet.
I will bring the judges back on. I'm just real quick. I'm going to transition it so that all the people watching at home can see all the amazing work through the photos that we got. Give me a moment. Let me get them all back in here. All right, we got everybody back now. Let's transition back.
Hey.
So ask away.
Hello. First off, I love that it's a button mic. That is like my favorite thing.
Oh, I use puck lights so much; they're the best.
Exactly. They're perfect, and you don't have to wire them. They're pre-wired.
And the best thing about them is that the light is so like nicely diffused.
It's even.
Yep. What's your foam coated with before the?
This one I actually used Creature Cast on this one.
I love Creature Cast.
I was watching an Evil Ted and he had mentioned it and I said, you know what, I'll try that. And I put it through my critter sprayer. Again, best investment ever.
Favorite products.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask that same question because it has such a beautiful finish.
Yeah, no, I mean it's got a nice, good gloss to it, nice even coating. So I mean, I'm not surprised it's Creature Cast. That stuff is amazing.
Oh yeah, but plus I do have several coats of clear on this as well. So.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question about your boots.
Yes.
I mean, I'm seeing you walking around and strutting around, and of course, Cybermen have a very particular stomp. Also, love this mashup, by the way. But so with the boot, like, did you build those over an existing shoe, or did you put on a sole?
They
like,
are.
Exactly. Did you do those?
I actually have a pair of slippers.
I'm sorry. You're gonna have to. I kept talking and then. So please say that one more time.
Oh my goodness.
I know it's horrible. I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead, Chris.
All right, the boots are built around a pair of slips, so they're quite comfortable to walk around in. And I'm standing on about 2 inches of foam.
All right, that's absolutely brilliant, and I love it because I was noticing that there seemed to be, of course, a good bit of platform, but they looked, like everyone else was saying, so absolutely smooth. Sometimes you can tell when someone's taken a shoe and molded around it. So I was really curious if someone had done that. But I love your smarter, not harder bits that you put into this. It's really genius.
Do I see towel racks? Are those like towel bars on there? Like,
They are PVC pipe.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, they look like towel bars, though, don't they?
They actually do. I love it.
Now that you said that, that's all I'm ever going to see now.
I had to ask because I use a lot of found items. I mean, it's not.
All right. Any other questions you guys have?
For patterning all the armor, did you use like a program like a Papakura kind of thing, or was it all trial and error?
I actually found these for free online.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's a guy on the RPF. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he put these out about 5 or 6 years ago, probably longer.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, I found them, and this is one of them.
That's awesome.
All
I
right.
thought so.
Cool. All right. We are. All right. We're gonna get moving on. Thank you, Chris, for coming for the competition tonight. I had muted Deadpool because Deadpool likes to talk.
Well, Pat, thanks for having me.
my
I'll
God.
sort out the questions for next time.
All
Hey,
right.
thanks for coming by, dog.
All right. As we get everything all set to bring on
I
our
love
next contestant.
crossovers. They're so much fun.
I love them too. I love creativity that goes into different costumes. Trying to get things all done
If
technology.
there's anything I've noticed at all the cons I've been to, it's the crossovers where you take two franchises and you meld them together. You remember those the most.
Yeah.
At least that's for me. Like, hey, do you remember that Cyberman Iron Man guy? Yep. Oh, like the Stormtroopers, they do it all the time too.
All right, I'm bringing up our next contestant right now. I'm just gonna get to their bio sheet. We call this multitasking like a boss. All right, our next contestant, please give it up for Dale Ledoux. I hope I pronounced the last name right. So Dale is dressed as War Chief Sylvanas from World of Warcraft MMO. It's nice when I get to shout out and get to say all this into a microphone, when we're on stage. But at the comfort of my own home, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so hot. So Dale's construction is as follows. Costume armor is made from EVA foam, clay, and EVA dowels. Foam was used for the edging and details either by hand or custom press molds. The bow is insulation foam cut then sanded to shape. Corset was made light hide leather starting with duct tape pattern and then sewn together. Arm sleeves are garment leather sewn to fit. There's a lot here. This is going to take a minute.
Yes.
And textured scale fabric
there
at the
is.
top for the scale mail. Leather strips hand stitched on the scale. Leather straps and brass buckles were used for all attachment enclosures. Hip pads are hand stitched leather attached to each rivet. The quiver is a box made to shape, then covered in leather. Leather was dyed to other colors to match the reference material. Added foam clay and dolls for the detailing. Printed a skull that he modified for the look. Oh, jeez. Arrows are wood dowels stained with the stripped feathers to add the fletching, the hand-bound... add the fletching, the hand-bound with wax thread. Whew. I need to take a jacket out of this.
Is there more?
Is double leathered, faux suede, sewn and top stitched. Added gold rope ribbon embroidery and appliances to the hood. There's
Holy
a lot.
shit.
We're almost done though. Distressed the bottom of the cape by cutting and sanding, then washed the black and browns to dirty up. Shorts were patterns made out of duct tape, then faux leather sewn together. Gems are deco art crystal beads with green alcohol ink dye for color, melted down, then pressed into molds. Printed custom molds for this and bezel rings around each gem. Shoulder skulls and spikes are modified 3D models. And then used EVA foam clay, leather, fabric, warbler, thermoplastic beads, insulation foam, and 3D prints.
I'm going to be honest with you, buddy. A lot of that I didn't catch.
That's why we got Dale here to help.
Yes, let's have him say something about his costume.
Take it away.
Well, I come from the corporate world, so I'm all about details. I'm an accountant, so.
Hell yeah, man.
Had to
Dude,
throw
you
all
look
that in there.
great. Look at you. Look at you.
Hey.
You look fantabulous.
Give a little for the horde.
Yeah, so Cubby plays World of Warcraft. I haven't, but I do know a lot about the game. But a lot of people watching may not. What does your character do in the game?
Right now, she is the leader of the horde. She has her own agenda, and
Who doesn't?
she's trying to. She's kind of like undead living type of thing. She was once a banshee, but what it comes down to is that she doesn't want to die. So right now she's leading us into the Shadowlands to extend her life.
Okay. All right.
I picked this character because I've been playing World of Warcraft since it was first to RTS. So
Whoa,
we're talking
that's a
like
long time ago.
late 90s. And so I've
Wow.
followed all these characters and stuff, and it was just like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And I wanted something that's going to really test everything that it challenged me overall as a cosplayer, because I've never worked with plastics and I'm learning to sew and I've never done body paint. So I chose this just as an overall learning experience, just to challenge myself and push myself.
Wait, is this your first costume?
No, I've built others, but most of it's been predominantly foam work. So,
Okay.
So I know how to work with foam, but work with like I say, working with the corset here, building this and doing the sewing and getting the
That
tools.
was so good.
It was a whole learning process for me. So it was really cool.
How long did it take you to do all that?
I worked on this for about 6 months, and I put in probably a good 220 to maybe 260 hours.
Wow. And you're an accountant on top of that too, right? Full time?
Yeah, so I'd get
Wow.
off work, come on home, and put in my hours. Just we're empty nesters, so I don't have to worry about kids.
I was gonna say that's impressive. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So-
So I'm an older cosplayer.
Hey, that's fine. That is fine. Age is just a number in cosplay. That is
Yes.
fine. That is fine. What was I gonna say? What is your favorite part of your outfit?
I'd have to say that it was the bow.
Ooh, look at that. Wow. You made that all by yourself?
Yes. So I've been doing 3D work. So instead of just printing a bow, I decided, because I want this to be a challenge, to go ahead and sculpt this and carve it. So I took insulation foam and a hot wire, cut that down to my rough shape. And then from there, I annoyed the hell out of my wife with the constant sanding. So we had hours of for a full month to get the bones and the horns itself. The only thing that's not crafted is just basically the front plate here. This is just EVA foam, and then I printed out the hand guards.
You 3D printed the hand guards?
Yes, the hand guards.
Wow.
And kind of the horn 3D print, but this is insulation foam along with the rest of this.
Dude, what can't you do? That looks amazing. You 3D printed it, you sculpted, you painted it. Wow. What can't you do?
Well, that's the thing. I'm trying to test those limits.
There you go. So, what was the piece of your outfit that took the most time?
Well, overall, it would have been the armor in total, because it wasn't just, let me just craft some armor. Well, let me step back a moment. I started off by getting the templates for this armor from Kenpatsu Cosplay. She has this cosplay. So I got it, and then I printed it out, and I was just like, yeah, this is not going to work. I'm a guy trying to fit into a female armor. So I had to take just the designs that was in the tutorial pack, and I still had to go through and do the old duct tape casting every single piece of me. And then,
I know all about that.
Yeah, just because it's just like scaling up didn't work. So it's just like everything had to be redone, and then kind of using the shape that was her designs, and then kind of give me that as a guide to say, all right, this is how I need to actually make it. And then of course I went through and made little changes, because maybe I want my curve to be a bit better because I got thicker thighs. So I have to adjust for those little pieces, or my chest. Because I got a broader chest and it's rounder and stuff. So it's just like I have to account for that, for the curvatures and other pieces.
Yeah, I got a lot of modifications to the armor sets. Yeah, that can be time consuming.
And then getting into it is just like, it wasn't just doing the armor. Then I get into doing foam clay to give me the detailing. I did press molds for foam clay to give me a different angle instead of just cutting 45-degree foam. So it's subtle, but you can't really tell unless you get up to it and actually look at the angles. And I did that on all the armor edges, is that I printed out custom press molds and just did like 7-inch press molds, and just did 7-inch strips of foam clay in these different sizes to put on all the armor edging.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is
even
crazy.
for the boot.
Oh yeah. Let's see the boots. Boots are always fun.
See if I can get that.
Ooh. So what did you paint this all with?
So I really enjoy using Hobby Lobby's Master Touch paints. These are made out of I use a heavy body acrylic.
Okay.
Because when I first started out with cosplay a couple years ago, I would just use like the folk arts. I was using the $2 paints, and I was finding that I wasn't getting consistent pigment coverage, and I would have splotches and everything else. So I was just like, all right, if I want more quality, let me see if going up in dollar value on paints for quality make a difference. And that heavy body acrylic goes on like silk. And it's just when you have a good base layer for your sealant, this stuff goes on beautifully.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
So everything is hand painted, and I thin it down, and I actually have to do it in layers to get a good smooth coat. And before a cosplayer, I was a miniatures player, so I painted miniatures. So I was able to bring all that experience forward and be like, oh yeah, I can do this and these kind of pieces. So
that skill's transferable.
So it's cool. It's like, hey, I'm painting a life-size model.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, is that a hood or is it a cowl?
No, it's I have a hood, and the hood's attached to the cape.
Okay. Can we see your cape?
Yeah. Let me see if I can manage this.
I know I asked the impossible of people. Wow. Now, you sewed that yourself?
Yes. And then
Wow.
a little bit on the, let's see if I can get this going. Unfortunately, my wife's out of town and I've had difficulty trying to do, this is a 2-person suit up and I had to do this by myself. So this was a real challenge.
Wow, dude, that looks great. My mind is blown. Let's bring in the judges. Let's let them dissect you a little more than what I did. Cub, you want to bring him in?
Yes, let me get the judges in here as I switch to the transition screen so all the people that are watching end up seeing, more of the costume work with all the photos.
Yeah, I know. Cubby, he looks so good. Look at him. Look at him.
You're talking to a WoW fanatic. Come on.
I know.
I'm
Wow.
missing one. Where is he? There you are. I wish this did it alphabetically because, dear goodness, it's just kind of like, oh, geez, I just don't want to have it be like that. Nope. All right. So, judges, what questions do you have to ask?
Oh my! First of all, I want to say I want to absolutely, Dale, commend you on you were going for a feminine shape with the bustier part and the corset, and I really want to commend you. It looks fantastic.
Well, unfortunately, COVID has packed on several pounds. I actually lost about 20 pounds to do this originally. So I could have more of that feminine curve as much as I could actually achieve because I got a very rounded barrel size. So,
well, listen, again, I do burlesque, and what we always say is the more you have, the easier it is to shimmy.
Yeah.
So,
I am 6 inch height right now.
Well, you look fantastic, Cinch, and I know that even for myself, when I used to make and wear armored stuff, it was very tricky having the natural proportions, and I really enjoyed you explaining how basically you got this pattern, but you had to completely redo it to fit a form that is broader and thicker in the ribs and all this stuff. And I just want to say I think you did a really great job. And I want to ask you also, what's the product that you put on your face, and how did you go about matching it to because I see this is cloth, right?
Yes. Originally,
so tell me about your makeup.
So I use Mayron's Aqua Paradise paints. So I started out testing between that and also Ben 9's cream paints. And I found that the Paradise being water activated goes on a lot easier, but I tend to sweat. I'm a bald guy, so having this wig on, I was just like, I'm really hot. I'm not used to having hair. So it's been a learning opportunity for me for doing this for the first time. So I do that as a base, and then my awesome wife for Christmas bought me a eyeshadow palette to be able to use that. And so I use the dark tones to go ahead, and you can't really see it, but I have it around. I try to do as much contouring, for the sides, make them a little bit darker. I did it for the nose to try to bring the nose in with a highlight on it.
I noticed that actually. I can see. I mean, it's not the best quality video, but I can absolutely see that you did the highlight in here, and it really works. And that's, I think, one mistake that people can make sometimes is they just do a flat color, and then your features just sort of blend in.
Yeah, that was my concern. I mean, especially being a guy doing this, I couldn't have it just flat. I needed to, when someone looks at me, I want them not to say, hey, that's a guy in a costume. I want to say, hey, that's Sylvanas. It's a dude doing this. And so, but to do it, I have to concentrate on the build, and like I did a lot of YouTube watching of how to do makeup, and my daughter is great at makeup, so it's here having her teach me how to do this.
I love that.
Trying to apply as much as I can, and I mean, every time I do it, it's another learning experience of like, all right, this is what I don't do, this is what I do. So, like I said, overall, this is supposed to be a challenge for me to learn this stuff. So. Yeah, makeup's been an interesting challenge.
And that's a whole nother part of your costume too, because it's not just, the armor and the fabric, it's also doing all that stuff where you're doing your face to really complete the character.
And aside from being cosplay, having to go through all this and wearing heels and doing makeup, I have a far more appreciation for my wife, and I cannot complain about makeup to her one bit now.
Other judges, treats. Brian, do you have any questions?
Well, I just want to say also very impressive because it's stunning, especially for a challenge build that you incorporated so many new techniques. And I was wondering, with those new techniques, which ones were you more intimidated with, and do you feel more comfortable with them now that you've used them?
That's a good question.
One was leather. Because it was one of those, is like, well, one thing is the cost. So it's kind of like, I have one shot to do this. So before I actually did anything with the leather work, I actually cut it out because I use a very light ounce hide. It was just a little bit above 2 millimeters. And so what I'd do is that I'd print out everything in 2 millimeter foam and put it together, then try it all on to see, all right, how's this going to fit? Where do I need to adjust? And then because I actually use a sewing machine with the leather needles, I can only go through 2 layers. So I had to see how I needed to stack the patterns together. So this is actually not 1 layer. It's actually 2 because of how I cut them out and shaped them. So it actually has 2 layers to be to resist some of the stretching that if I just did 1.
Mm-hmm.
So it was doing that, plus also working with the different pieces where I had to do the stitching on it. Like for here, did some small stitching on the up and lower part of it to lock it into the arm. But there it was here getting the tools and learning the tools for the punches and the different kind of awls that I can use, or the stitching on and the different needles. So it was really interesting. It's got me over that intimidation of using leather. So now it's just like, oh, this is awesome. I'm more comfortable with it now. So I'll definitely incorporate it more in my pieces. Plus also I use it for all the buckles and straps. So nothing really is Velcroed in. Everything is actually leather, brass buckles and leather straps.
Brian, do you have any questions?
Pretty much answer all the questions. I just want to say I really like how you did the press molding the foam for the armor edges. That looks great.
Yeah, because
can we just see the bow one more time as well?
I was gonna say, it's like for here, it's like we have all this is like you're saying. Like I was saying, I was just using the different press molds, but
yeah, no, that's awesome, and I mean, you definitely get a much more uniform, look across the whole thing rather than just sanding down 45-degree angles and stuff. So it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. You did a really good job with that.
And just minor details that on the inner thigh area, it actually transitions down 3 different sizes for the final size that goes around the inner part. So here's the bow.
There we go. Yeah, just do like a slow kind of awesome. Very cool. Very cool.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That craftsmanship is out of this world.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, and we'll wrap that up. So, all right, so thank you very much, Dale, for coming.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let's go.
We're gonna put your pictures back on the stream so the people can take one last look, and we're gonna bring in our next person as I go and get people muted real quick. Technology, I love it. It's a lot of different things, trying to multitask like a boss. And I always hit the wrong button, and I always mute the wrong person. All right. Our next contestant, because we're keeping it with the World of Warcraft theme, give it up for Avera Cosplay, as the photo should be transitioning onto the screen. I don't know what's going on. It's showing not doing it yet. There we go. So everybody should see it. I'm unmuting and bringing her on right now. So a quick rundown of Avera's costume. So this is Ysera from World of Warcraft. It's designed by Zach Fisher. For those who do not know who Zach Fisher is an amazing artist, and he comes up with some outstanding concept art of different characters, a lot of cool World of Warcraft character designs. I'm a huge WoW fan, so I definitely appreciate it. So Avera made this costume with over 400 scales, 100 handmade flowers, 2 warmer reliefs, 50 yards of vines, LEDs, hand-casted gems, wood textures, scale texture leaves, hand-sculpted bevels and details, and embroidered glyphs. A whole bunch of stuff. She also provided us with a build book, which I tried to convert onto stream to show you guys it, but unfortunately didn't. But please welcome to the screen Avera Cosplay. How you doing?
Hi. So actually, the pictures, I redid the ears and horns since then.
Oh. Well, you have to explain.
So the pictures that I gave you, I hated the way that the horns looked. It looked like more like. Have you ever seen the movie Legend?
Yes.
Such a good movie, right? So it was way more Legend and less Ysera, and then my ears were like out of foam. They were way too big. So since then, I've redone the ears and the horns.
That's absolutely outstanding work. 100%.
Wow. Wow.
You
So
left Deadpool
what did you make your horns out of?
So horns are a foam base. So I do a tinfoil mold, and then I just wrap it in saran wrap and duct tape like you would your body, and then I make a horn pattern, and then it's out of foam. Inside of it is actually PVC pipe and foam clay to keep it like on a headband.
Okay.
And then you have the fibra vines that run through it.
I'm like looking at you. I don't know what to look at because there's so much going on, and it's fantabulous. Everywhere, like my eye just travels and travels, and I'm just, wow, you're a walking piece of art. Look at you. Tell me about your pauldrons on your shoulders.
Okay, so the pauldrons are, so puck lights are amazing, right? We all know that.
Yeah.
But if you take crystal warbler and unicorn spit and formica gems, they actually turn into something really cool. And what I love about the pauldron gems is that even when they're off, like the lights are off, they actually have like a little bit of a shine.
Yeah, a little bit of a shimmer to them.
Huh?
There's a little bit of a shimmer to them even when you turn it off.
Yes, exactly. And then the actual, this is all foam, but this is like a color shifting paint so that it still has like a cool look. Even when the lights are off.
That's so cool. So
and I love the way that it diffuses. Huh?
No, I was gonna say your character. Can you tell me about your character? I'm not a WoW guy, so I know a little bit, but not enough to survive in a conversation.
Right. So Ysera is the dreamer. She is in charge of the Emerald Dream, which is basically all that is green and good in the world. Right? If you're a Lord of the Rings guy, you might understand that reference.
Okay, yeah, I follow.
She gets screwed over by her brother because guys are jerks. And all the feels, like she ends up like getting corrupted, but the moon saves her. It's almost like Avatar-like. So if you take like all that you like about Avatar and Lord of the Rings, like Ysera is all of those feels.
That's super cool. So you do you connect with this character on a certain level?
I do. I love things that are wood, and honestly, for me, this character design is a Zach Fisher design, and anything he does to me is golden. And it was actually designed for somebody else, and she's very fabric oriented. So I thought it would be very cool because like we talk a lot, and I thought it'd be very cool if I could take what she originally had commissioned and do it from a foam standpoint. So when she did it, her entire bodice was fabric, and everything that she did was fabric. And what I did was, this is all foam. This is foam clay. So this is all like individual foam clay, and then this is all foam clay stamped with leaf designs and color shifting paint. And then the wood is all wood, foam. So what I tried to do was just take something awesome and do it in a way that I could actually do it because I can't sew. But
have you reached out to Zach Fisher? Does he know you're doing this?
Yes, he does.
Oh, so you got the approval from the source, I see.
I didn't get the approval from the source. The source was the person who commissioned it for him, and she was like, "Go for it, girl. Let's do this." And
Okay.
yeah, so the original commissioner, yeah, but yeah, he knows that I'm doing this. It's okay.
So this is your take on what he did, or your take on what she did?
Yes, exactly. And I added, so the one thing I did do the first time, I've never touched sewing, but I can't wear it and sit, but I will say that I did actually embroider all these panels here.
Oh, embroidery work.
So all the glyphs that were on the original design, I can't actually wear that and sit, but yeah, so I did all that. So for me, this was about texture. So, you know, there's a leaf texture here. This is made to look like leather. It's not zipped up right now just because I'm alone in my room. But for me, it was all about texture and proportions. And yeah, I mean, I think that the biggest thing was actually not even part of the original design, which is this, which is the
the staff.
that I added. So the staff has 400 roses on it. It has flowers, woodwork, and it actually has a like I kind of carved Ysera into the moon.
Ooh,
Out of
look at that.
So yeah, so this wasn't even a part of it, but that's one of my favorite things. And the other thing you can't see with me just sitting here is all the scale work. It's on the, can you take that, Ben? On the legs, because obviously whatever, but there's a lot of scale work, and
Wow.
These are the legs.
So is it scale mail, or is it also
No,
foam?
it's just EVA foam scales and Thibra vines. The lights are all fairy lights that I've covered in crystal warbler and then covered in Thibra over that. So they turn off and on just like a normal fairy light would, but I actually just wrapped it around it and then covered it, because crystal lights, or sorry, fairy lights covered in crystal warbler diffuse like a dream, and it's like amazing. Like, and if you add alcohol ink, you actually get like this cool effect. So even when the lights are off, it looks kind of cool. So
that's outstanding work. That's impressive.
Yeah.
All right.
Cubby, do you want to bring in the other judges?
I'm gonna bring in the
dissect
judges.
her.
Just give it a second.
Wow.
As my screen is getting everything loading.
EVA foam is very popular.
There's warbler, Thibra, but the base is EVA because it's light. I mean, if you do full warbler, it's so heavy. Even Thibra, like my shoulders are about 10 pounds each, because there's 50 yards of Thibra vines, and Thibra gets really heavy.
All right, judges. What do you have for questions? I feel as though Brian. Let's have Brian start off this time.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm the quiet one. First of all, how do I get her centered on my screen? Right now, I'm looking at Deadpool.
Give me a second. I'm gonna get her centered.
There we go. All right. I want to say the horns, the upgrade, are awesome. Not to knock what was done before, but they do look a lot better than the ones that were in the pictures. I commend you on that.
And the ears too.
No, they look, everything's awesome. The armor is awesome. I love the way that you did the gems. You coated them with alcohol ink afterwards.
So what I did was a mixture of unicorn spit and alcohol ink in the crystal warbler,
and that gave it that kind of cloudy looking. That's awesome. Yeah. Cool. Everything's awesome. I love foam clay. I the way you press the leaf texture in there is cool too. I like that. So, I mean, you pretty much covered all my questions. Anybody else?
Treats.
I'm actually not that familiar with foam clay. And I've probably encountered it, but I've never used it. And in fact, I'm not even sure if I've ever really heard of it. So I am interested, how hard is it, and how do you attach your bodice in the back?
It's a corset attachment in the back.
Okay.
What I did was I soldered iron through and then added grommets to the foam, and then it's a corset attachment in the back. Foam clay it's depending on where you get it from, it's a consistency that's much lighter. It's much wetter than Worbla, and it takes a lot longer to dry. But it also doesn't burn the hell out of your fingers. So that is amazing. So all these like bevels here that I've done, like this, is foam clay. All the ones that run up the sides here, it's a really great way. Usually WoW, all my like these right here, these are all foam clay. So a lot of WoW cosplayers have traditionally always used Worbla because you can form it and you don't have to like try to figure out what the trajectory of the sun and the moon on Tuesday would be in order to get, you know, this out of foam. So they use Worbla. Worbla burns your fingers, so foam clay is a great alternative. This is actually from yeah. So the problem is that it just takes skill to get it looking smooth and to look good. But yeah, foam clay is awesome. You should definitely check it out.
Well, one thing I do love, and I have made a lot of myself, I am obsessed with headdresses and making big impractical things. So I love the horns, and I know you said you put them on a headband. Can you kind of explain a little bit how, like, are they, I see the wig is built around it. Is it all one piece? Okay.
No, so it's two wigs spliced together. It's two Arta wigs spliced together in order to get the Tease It to Jesus look in the middle. And then underneath is a headband with PVC pipe, and then it goes into, you know, the horns.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. It's just between the wefts. I didn't really, you know, try to mess with it. I just kind of bent the PVC pipe so that it would like kind of go in between the wefts and where I had it. But
I'm watching you move and talk naturally, and those horns aren't going anywhere. And I love it. I love it.
Yeah. And then the front piece, this is crystal Worbla and foam, and it's actually on a Worbla band that's in between the base layer of my two wig caps.
Hey, Treats, do you have any questions?
I just want to mention, like, the paint job is beautiful. It has a beautiful gradient. And I was wondering, do you hand paint or do you use airbrush to achieve the look?
For my face or this?
Really, all of it. Like, you have a beautiful ombre from the face down. And then also the armor has such nice gradient in it, and the woodwork.
So most everything I do is hand painted with acrylics. Okay. And then I usually go in with an airbrush just to kind of get the outline detail gradient. For my body, my arms are a sewn arm sleeve from Color, what is it, Color People? I don't know. They're like the famous one. And then my face is hand painted. Yeah.
Color shift.
Lovely.
Yeah, we love colors. That's what it is. Yeah.
All right. So thank you very much for coming tonight, Avera. We've got one more contestant. We're going to actually transition to the screen on the stream. So anybody watching on the stream, you guys are seeing who the next one is going to be in a second. So thank you.
So excited.
I'm excited too. I think everybody's excited.
All Fun right. Never seems to last, does it, Cubby? Almost over.
It's almost over. This is like I said, this is a small one tonight. But we're pretty ecstatic. You know, this is pretty good. I gotta get this back onto gallery view. There we go. All right, and our last contestant for tonight is Dark Helmet from Spaceballs, of course. Dark Helmet. The costume was made out of EVA foam and 3D printed parts. The printed parts were sanded, filed, and sanded again to give them a super smooth surface. The foam was cut, sanded, sealed, and painted, and the costume was actually made for the gentleman's girlfriend and took about 6 months to finish. So, if I can have everybody at this time as I showcase the costume on the screen so everybody can see it on the stream. Here we go. All right, now we're live. There's Dark Helmet right there.
Ew.
How you guys doing tonight?
Doing great, thanks.
Take it away.
Oh, I can't see him. Hey, dog. Wow, look at him go. Look at that. Wow, looks fantastic. I love this movie. It's so good. He's got the coffee cup. Nice. I'm trying to see it on my end. Ooh. Oh, wow.
So-
I love the tie. It looks great. You know, I'm really upset that they never made a sequel to that film. I feel like we could use another Spaceballs right about now.
So
Yeah,
explain the costume for us.
it took me about 6 months to make. It's my first time I actually made all the hard parts and foam by myself without any help. I had to adjust the 3D file that I found off Thingiverse for the helmet to fit my wife's head and body shape. But how it came out.
That's great.
And all the spikes on the wrist, on the gauntlet, they're all, and the arms, they're all screwed in with little Allen nuts.
Ooh. What's your favorite one-liner from the movie?
I can't say it. I can just say I'm surrounded by.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. That's mine too. My wife says it all the time when I have my friends over. I'm surrounded by a-holes. Oh wow, that looks great. So you did you 3D printed some stuff, I heard?
Yeah, the spikes, the belt, buckle, and the helmet, and the mask.
Like the whole helmet?
Yeah, the whole helmet and mask is 3D printed.
How many pieces did it come when you printed it?
All in all, I believe it was about 26 pieces.
Whoa! Now, how did you adhere all those pieces together?
Use super glue.
Oh, okay. That's
Then
not
I
bad.
I use super glue. Then I put epoxy resin over it.
Oh, okay.
Filler primer and sanded, and filler primer and sanded, and filler primer and sanded.
How long did it take you to sand it?
I went through about 5 cans of filler primer.
Whoa, that's a lot of sanding. So
Yeah.
how long did it take you to complete it?
About 6 months.
Okay, that's a good amount of time. And you were doing this on your off time too? Do you have a
Yeah.
full-time job as well?
Yeah, I got a full-time job. I work about 55 hours a week.
That always amazes me when people make the time to make all these elaborate costumes. It's crazy, the dedication. I love it. I love it. You guys look so good.
Great. You want to see the best part about it?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Oh, wow. It even folds back.
Yep.
That's so good. Wow. Now, and then when you 3D printed it, was it designed to do that too? Or is that something special you added?
No, I actually had got a curtain rods in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with a part of a construction hat. You got
Okay.
it forward so you can adjust the height of it, and you can adjust the face mask forward and backwards.
Oh, that is so cool. Now, what did you do for the cape? Did you make the cape yourself?
No, we actually bought the cape on Wish.
Oh, okay. That's not bad. Is it a good cape?
Yeah, it's cotton. It's real good.
Heck yeah. Now, is this your first competition or is this your second one? Or third? Or...
We actually did a competition. Our first competition was in February.
February?
Yeah. So technically,
Okay. This is like your second competition, and you guys are like already like pro status with all the work you put into it. Wow, that's impressive. Wow.
Thank
wow.
All
So,
right. Let me pull the judges back in. 'cause
okay, all right.
You're asking them all the questions that the judges got to ask.
I
Come
know.
on.
I was gonna ask about the movies.
I know. You're a huge Spaceballs fan. I've got it back up on. I got the photos back up for everybody to see on the stream as I bring back Treats, Go-Go, and Ryan. I have to say, I love this transition screen thing because it allows people to see.
I was gonna
all
say,
the
I
costumes.
can hear you clicking away.
Yeah, I'm just banging them out. So, judges, do you have any questions for Dark Helmet?
I
like,
think my question might have been answered.
Awesome.
I think I'm good.
I heard about a hard hat involved. Is the whole helmet suspended onto the hard hat?
Yeah, if you want to hold, go ahead, take it off. Yeah, I'll show you the inside of it.
That would be great.
Coffee goes everywhere.
Ooh.
Oh, that's nice. And then you got the padding in there.
Yeah, right here's the rails. You can adjust the face mask forward and backwards. And I got a piece of string right here that wraps around. So when it comes down, it stops at a certain point.
Nice.
Nice. Awesome.
They did a really good finishing job on that print.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a ton of work. So I mean, that looks great.
It's
All right.
so amazing.
How heavy is
So
that?
unwieldy.
How heavy is it?
What do you say, probably about 10 pounds.
Can we get a close up of the belt buckle?
Huh? Yeah, the belt buckle 3D printed. And then it's just got the elastic right here.
There we go.
The button was 3D printed separately.
Very cool.
All right,
It's
any
like
more questions?
jumped right out of the movie.
Any more questions that you guys have?
Yeah, we wore
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, we wore it at Chattanooga for the first time, and it was a big hit.
Yeah, I bet.
Very
In a
cool.
sea of Darth Vaders and Stormtroopers, here comes a dark helmet. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got my Colonel Sanders on, so it was because we do his first cosplay, so it's like a group thing.
Okay. We had Cubby and we had a buddy that did Barf a bunch of years ago.
He's actually he's somebody that actually helps out with Nerd Caliber, doing
Yeah.
photos. And I think everybody but Treats, judge-wise, has met him at one point. So.
He was going to be my Dragon Con roommate this year.
Oh.
Now Dragon Con.
I mean, I have to go to more U.S. cons.
You got to go to more U.S. cons. But all right, I am going to transition the screen out, and we are going to get into my favorite spot, which is the deliberation process. So we are going to real quick get back onto the main screen. So the judges are now going to be split off, and they're going to quickly deliberate and pick their top winners. If I could have one of you guys, when this is all set and you guys have got your winners set, shoot me a message on the nice little Facebook, and it's my easiest way of contacting me. Just giving me the thumbs up, like, all right, we're all set. So while you guys are going to be broken out, I get to do this nice little thing. It's I get to create a room, and I get to do it manually, and I got to do this, and I got to do that. I just
Oh my God.
sign people. Yeah, it's a little bit of work. Just multitasking like a boss, and then I get that all set. So you guys got a thing that says to invite and join the room. So this way you guys can discuss and talk. As we see everybody just disappear on the screen.
Oh my God, where'd they go?
You and me.
Hey, I got a question for you on your end as an event organizer. Do you find this to be a little bit easier, or do you find doing it in person a little bit easier organizing?
Believe it or not, in person.
Yeah?
What people aren't seeing right now is for the whole setup, I'm working on multiple different things at once. So right now, for everybody that's watching on Twitch and on YouTube, so how this is all being done is we are doing this through a Zoom call, as some of you guys probably have already figured out by now. And we have everybody kind of set here. So all the contestants and entrants right now, they can see and hear everything that's going on. They're in the nice little thing called the waiting room. While they're all set doing that, I then take this and I put this into a little program called Streamlabs OBS. I edit everything through. I got everything set up for each person. I then also have on another screen, I've got everybody's bios and information, so that way I can go through and be able to read that off when I go to do the intros. So I'm literally working on multiple different things at once. And then, to boot, this stream is actually going directly to my Twitch and through YouTube on our nice editor-in-chiefs of Nerd Caliber's computer, who I am bringing on right now. So give it up for the editor-in-chief of Nerd Caliber, Rodney Brown. First person shooter.
Jim! Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming on to the show. Thanks for all
Rodney,
the
you're in
contestants, of course.
space. How'd you
I
get
am
in
in space. I am in my office, which is in my bedroom, so I'm using the wonderful Zoom feature called Replace My Background.
Oh,
so
you
I don't
be
have to
going
worry
there,
about
Rodney.
making
There's no
my
air
bed.
in space.
So I'm not actually in space. I'm not Elon Musk. But yeah,
Just
thank
as
you everybody
handsome,
for coming. Oh, go ahead, Jim.
I said you're just as handsome, though.
Aww. And obviously, you still can't see through all that white stuff covering your eyes. So.
Yeah, well, no, I can see a little bit. I only got one layer on today.
That's cool. Well, yeah, obviously you have to. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see the contestants and make actual comments on their
No, and
costumes.
my phone is so small, so I'm like, hello.
We're gonna have to do something about getting you a better laptop or something like that when before the next one.
Yeah, as soon as the Marine Corps wants to pay me more, I'll definitely get on that.
So speaking of the next one, I'm going to go ahead and shill for our next contest, which is in July, the end of July. It is tentatively right now scheduled for the 22nd, but we're actually thinking about maybe moving that date a little bit. If we do, we'll make sure that everybody knows way in advance. And then there's the August event, also at the end of August, and that's the last of the 3 qualifiers. Immediately after the August qualifier is the finals. It'll be the 3 winners of the 3 qualifiers. So whoever's first place today, first place in July, and first place in August, head-to-head for the top prize. Top prize, cash prize, is $250. Every one of the qualifying winners gets $100. Runner-up gets $50, and there are judges' awards, which are $25 each.
Ooh!
So
it's all about the Benjamins or the Lincolns, or the Jacksons. Ooh. Ideally, it'll be about the Tubbins in a few years, but
and for those who don't know, registration for the July competition should be up live tomorrow, and that registration will be going for a couple of weeks before we close that out. And I got a Vera saying that she loves that they're in costume. I absolutely love having the contestants be on the Zoom call and being on the stream, because I've seen a lot of the contest streams, a lot of photos, a lot of videos. It's cool, but I like the interaction. I like the judges being able to ask questions. I like the host being able to interact. And I love everybody being able to showcase their outstanding work from top to bottom, because photos and videos are good, but being in person and being able to showcase your work in person, it's a lot better in my opinion.
Right. If you just had people showing off costumes and pictures and so on with no judges asking questions, we'd never hear anybody say on the stream tonight, unicorn spit.
Yeah, I thought that's what she said, and I was like, unicorn spit? What the hell is she joking? Is she in character? Unicorn spit?
I'm assuming it's a crafting product.
Yeah, I guess so. I thought she was like yanking my chain. No, she was being honest.
Now, Rodney, could you, because we haven't made the official announcement yet, do you want to announce who the judges are for July?
I can, and I would if you had given me enough notice so I could make absolutely sure. So you're going to have to help me fill in.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that I know, in fact, one of them is the stalwart of Nerd Caliber. He's been a contributor for Nerd Caliber for forever, for longer than I have, actually. That is Spectra. Spectra V3, I think, is what he's currently going by under Instagram and so on. You may know him as Spectra Cosplay. Fantastic foam crafter, armor maker, has run panels at New York Comic Con and PAX East and so on. He's amazing. Also,
he's a great guy. I've known him for years. He's a fantastic
in fact,
kid.
I met him when he was doing his Kung Fu Deadpool at Anime Boston while you guys were all in your various Deadpool stuff.
No way! Wow, history in the making.
History in the making. And he does Kung Fu Deadpool because he's a martial artist, and he does capoeira as well, and he's just freaking amazing. And also joining him is that Gears guy, Dale. If you haven't met Dale, yes, Dave.
Yay, Dale!
He is absolutely outstanding. He is one of the physically biggest human beings I've ever met. And boy, does he play that up when he makes armor that, makes his 6 foot whatever into 9 feet. He's fantastic. Gears of War cogs, Gears of War Temple Guardian was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Destiny armor and so on. Fantastic. And I believe we also have Silhouette is July.
So we'll make that announcement in a second. So our last one for July is Rattle and Burn Cosplay. She is an outstanding craftsman from upstate New York. She has won awards at New York Comic Con, at Fan Expo, Toronto, all over the place. Outstanding work. So definitely check her out. I've actually had her judge twice for me. She actually judged the Masters of Cosplay 2018 finals for me. So I'm pretty pumped to have her on board to judge next month. We are currently waiting on one more person to say that they will be able to judge for next month. But because we brought up the subject, we also have our judges that we're going to be announcing for August. And Rodney, let's kick it off with the first one that you already said.
Well, okay, then Silhouette Cosplay. Silhouette Cosplay is a fantastic cosplayer here in the Northeast, has won many, many awards, master level awards. I first saw Silhouette doing Loki from the MCU, one of the best Tom Hiddleston versions of Loki I've ever seen. And then they were showing me pictures of a cosplay they had just finished, and it was Galadriel. And I went, what? Is this the same human being? As one of the most beautifully ethereal Galadriels you've ever seen. Just unbelievable talent. Unbelievable talent. Fantastic award-winning cosplayer.
Well, I'm excited.
Yep, and she also won the 2018 Masters of Cosplay Grand Prix. So she'll be judging August. We had Treats today judging, who was the overall winner last year. And it's just a bummer we don't have this year, but c'est la vie. So that's our first judge. Rodney, who's our next judge that we have to announce?
One of my favorite people in the whole world, Tony Ray. Everybody loves Tony Ray. Is Tony's cosplay page. Tony is a cosplayer. Tony has his own fashion line.
What?
Yeah. Tony's got his own
crazy.
fashion line, dude. Go check it out. It's amazing stuff. Tony is one of the most wonderfully outspoken, unabashed blurs, black nerds, cosplayer of color, and he is beloved by everybody, as his name says. Everybody loves Tony Ray.
I don't think I've met him yet, but he sounds like a cool dude.
He's a very nice guy. I've gotten a chance to run into him and see him at, God, I don't know how many shows over the years. It's just kind of like, wait, what are you doing here kind of deal. Everywhere I go. All right, so Rodney, who's the next judge that we've got? Or judges, I should say.
Oh, you put me on the spot. I know. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So we're going to call this a tag team, I guess, because they are, in fact, a tag team. Coming in from the West Coast, we have the fantastic Solo Roboto Industries, Steven, and Miss Kit Quinn.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. And they are both wonderful. They've been doing cosplay for years. I believe I first met them at Dragon Con. And they were, I think the first time I saw them, they were cosplaying. Oh, no, I know. They were doing the 300 Spartans and the Queen.
Damn.
And it was fantastic. As a armor maker, Steve, Solo Roboto Industries, makes some of the most wonderful props you've ever seen. He's his who was it? Terry Turman, the Terminator.
Yeah, Terry.
Icarus from the DC comics, and the helmet was perfect, like right out of Jack Kirby's designs, just amazing. And it was made by Steve by Solo Roboto Industries.
And I can tell you guys too, they also organize and run the prop contest held at LA Comic Con or Stanley's Kamikaze, whichever you may, each year. And Kit Quinn has also won Best in Show at TwitchCon as well a few years ago.
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, so it's stacked. You know, just like this qualifier here in June, our judges are a stacked row of literally the best cosplaying minds you can think of.
And we still have one other slot for both July and August that we are just waiting on confirmations for. So once we get them set and ready, we're gonna announce who they are, and we're pretty pumped for them as well. And they're still deliberating and picking, because I'll tell you, it's tough. They got a tough task.
Yeah, this competition is crazy, dog.
We have only 5 entrants, but all 5 are outstanding, and it's like
fantastic.
You know, I was kind of bummed that we only had 5 entrants. We actually had, for those that are watching on the streams, we actually had more contestants for that. I'll actually, because I have their photos set up, I'm gonna show you guys some of the work that some of the contestants have.
You know, Covey, I'm gonna suggest that you don't
do that.
Only because it's going to. Now, it may not be appropriate or it's not the word I'm looking for. It might not be the nicest thing to do with the competitors who are actually on the screen. So there are some wonderful, as the helmet that just came up and disappeared real quickly. There are some wonderful actual, you know, cosplay and designs and so on, but you know, let's not do that part. But let's see, what can we tell people about the upcoming contests?
Yes, I would love to know.
So like Covey said, oh, by the way, I've never introduced myself, and Covey just gave me the editor-in-chief. So let's start with that. And then the reason I'm doing that is because nobody out here, unless you've been in the cosplay contest field, knows who the guy in the Boston Red Sox hat is, and he needs to introduce himself. So I'll start out. I'm Rodney Brown. I'm the editor-in-chief of Nerd Caliber. We are the ones that are streaming this on YouTube, and we have a YouTube channel. We have a website. I'm a cosplay photographer, first-person shooter on Facebook. And Covey, you really need to say what it is that you do and why you're doing what you're doing right now.
Yeah, Covey, you don't give yourself enough credit, man.
You know what? I'm always here to make others look better. That's kind of the way I've always been. You know, I'm one of those where my fun is, you know, making sure everybody else is having a good time. I've always been that way, and I've been doing this I've been doing contests for 11 years, which is scary. I'm a contest organizer. I have changed a lot. Like, contests back when I started doing contests were set as 2 different things: Anime Masquerade, Comic-Con costume contests. And they were so far apart from each other on the way everything's all set up. Masquerades, for those that don't know, it's you showcase your costume on stage, you do a little skit, and then you exit off. But with Masquerades, you generally don't get that great of prizing. Whereas with the Comic-Cons, you walked on stage, you showcased your costume, you walked off, and they always gave you some great prizing. So, and they were always a mess. They were always just absolutely not organized whatsoever. So, I took the best of both worlds and combined them together and started doing my take on contests, which are essentially it's a nice mix. You get to interact with the hosts, which generally you don't get to do at any convention. You get to have your time to shine and showcase your costumes, which is what I want. I want everybody to be able to showcase all the hard work and effort that they did, and I want everybody to just have a great time and feel comfortable. And my amazing host, who on my screen, which everybody that's seeing the Twitch stream, they're seeing it, So he's been with me doing contests since 2012. Okay.
Talking about me?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were pointing at your dog.
No, my dog.
I was like,
my dog's sitting directly behind me.
okay.
He's an outstanding man. He's been hosting for me at different contests. So I've run contests all over North America now. I've started out in New England running Grant State Comic Con, Boston Comic Con, Rhode Island Comic Con, Hartford Comic Con, Massive Comic Con, TerraCon, helping out Super Mega Fest, and that's just New England. Then I've helped out New York Comic Con's costume contest, especially with the Crown Championship. I helped out 1 year, actually 3 years.
That's crazy. That's a huge con, man.
It is. I've been at MegaCon for the last few years. Fan Expo Dallas, Calgary Expo, Fan Expo in Toronto, which is a gigantic show. And on the West Coast, Comic-Con Palm Springs. I was at LA Comic-Con 1 year. I mean, I've been all over the place. And the main thing that I have for those is I want everybody to have a great time. I'm there to run a nice, smooth competition from top to bottom and want everybody just to have fun, whether you're a contestant, whether you're a fan, whether you're the host, a photographer. I just want everybody to have a good time. And
it should be a good time for everybody.
Yep, and I'm hoping everybody's had a good time watching the stream tonight, as well as all the contestants who are still sitting there idly by in their seats, just like, what's going on? What's going on? And
who's gonna get that $25? Man.
The judges must be having a tough time right now, trying to figure everything out. Because even with 5 contestants, you're picking of those 5, one going to the finals to compete against the July winner and against the August winner, and they want to make sure they get it right. And like I said, we had 5 outstanding entrants tonight, and it's tough. It's really tough.
Now, Jim, you've got a question on Twitch.
Yes.
Are you wearing the Deadpool bunny slippers?
No, I'm not. Jennifer asked me that. No, they're in the other room. You know what? I'm gonna go get them. I'll be right back.
And while he's doing
like that, the host has left the show.
Yeah, just like that. Yep. But yeah, we the next one that we'll do, as I'm saying, it's gonna be in July, where we had a date finalized, but we might tweak something so that way we can have a little bit more fun. So stay tuned for that. We'll have an event page up more than likely tomorrow, as well as all the information tomorrow-ish. Yeah. And prizes that you got tonight. So whoever wins next month, it's $100 cash that they're going to get right in their pocket. Runner-up's going to get $50. Judges awards are going to get $25 a piece. So, this is cash money. And right now, where everybody's at home, booze helps. Yes, booze helps. As we get from Avera on the stream. So cash money is very good to have, in pocket, and it's a slam dunk. Have fun, enter. It doesn't matter. It does matter if you made the costume or not. You have it set. But I'm currently working on something else for the finals that you guys will have to stay tuned and check and see. So if you guys, yes, I'm doing what I always do, which is saying something but not going into full detail, which is also a bad thing sometimes.
Yes.
and by the way, anybody on either of the streams that are going tonight, as you guys probably saw, I'm not going to go into detail, but we are raising money for rescue reptiles. So nice little fun little thing going on.
So anybody who's on YouTube, if you want to do a super chat, which is the little $sign button at the bottom of your chat window, that will go to Nerd Caliber, and all of those funds that are collected from any of the qualifiers and the final will go to the rescue, the reptile rescue efforts, and then also the same thing where you do any of the donations on Twitch, which is a different button somewhere.
Yeah, there's a button on it. I don't know where it's set up, so if people do donate, it just goes into charity care for rescues, which a fun little thing. I did get contacted today right before the stream for another rescue that will be coming in, so
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we got as you guys can see on the streams, I've got a couple of tanks that are directly behind me. So this little girl right here, that's Coco. She is a rescue bearded dragon. She is very overweight and she cannot use her back legs.
Aww.
But she's an absolute sweetheart, and we had a nice little photo session outside. So pretty pumped,
I saw that.
pretty pumped with her. She's great. These are actually my favorite animals right here. These are red-eyed tree frogs, who are just absolutely outstanding. And then, as I'm trying to figure out stuff, this is this tank right above my left shoulder, or showing right, whatever. Those are just baby geckos. So yeah, they're just fun things, you know. Everybody's got a hobby that they have during the COVID apocalypse. And I'm still waiting on the judges. Let me shoot a message just to find out.
Well, do you want to see my slippers? I went all the way to the other room to get them.
Let's see the slippers.
All right, let's see here.
I love it.
Slippers.
That's awesome.
So I actually got them as a Christmas gift from one of my captains. Now he's a major, and I knew that I was deployed on last year. We all took names from a hat, and he got me. He was like, "Oh my God, what do I get ski?" So my other captain was like, "Just get him something Deadpool." He got me Deadpool slippers. It was great.
By the way, for
Did you
anybody
just
that
say
doesn't
Steve?
know on streams or contest-wise what this is, we call this stalling for time.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Are they still deliberating?
They're still deliberating. I just
Damn.
shot a message just to find out what's going on, just to see. And nope, they're still deliberating. Jeez, crow, that just scared the crap out of me.
What was that?
I just got a donation. I can't see what it says. It doesn't pop up on the... Avera, I see that you donated. I couldn't... It didn't pop up.
Oh, that's very nice.
I set it up. So we did a reptile rescue stream, the first stream. Oh, I have been informed that the judges are done. So real quick, short little story. I did a reptile stream. I set it all up to so if people wanted to donate, they could do whatever. But yeah, it was something just to have a little fun. But I'm pulling the judges back in. Boom, judges, you guys are coming back in. You're gonna see them and just pop up. As they join.
I don't know. It's very quiet.
There's two. Where's treats? Hey. All right. You guys should also be unmuted in a second. Hang on. I love technology sometimes, but also I hate it. All right. You guys should be unmuted. All right. So you guys have your award winners for tonight?
Yeah.
All right. We'll start off with Judges Awards because, we always start with Judges Awards before you go to the Best in Show. So, judges, let's hear your Judges Awards.
Who's first?
Well, Brian, you spoke first, so you're going first.
All right. My Judges Award is Dark Helmet. For me, just the accuracy and just, I know there's a lot of work in there. And
coming up on the screen. Hang on. I hit the button for them to join in. Where are they? Come on, Dark Helmet. Dark Helmet. There we go.
Ew.
And there's a doggo. Yes, I said doggo. Don't hate me. There he is.
Okay, we good? All right, Dark Helmet, you are my Judges Award.
Thank you.
I think just the overall accuracy of this costume is just dynamite, like just leapt right off the screen. I mean, is everything about it, even underneath the glasses, and I know there's a lot of work in that finish. That's a super smooth finish, and all those pieces to get rid of the seams and everything. That's I think you did a really, really good job on that, and it's just I commend you.
Awesome, thanks.
You're very welcome.
All right, so we are now going to go on to our next one, which is Gogo. Real quick, I'm just going to take Dark Helmet, and I'm going to switch over to Gogo. Gogo, who is your Judges Award winner?
My Judges Award goes to Avera Cosplay. I absolutely am just so enamored with those horns. I love everything about them. And again, when she first submitted her information to us, and her photos, the horns were very different. And so she also recognized that she could do better, and she did. I love everything about them, and I actually want them for myself. So she's my choice.
Trying to unmute so she can say something because things are slow.
She also recognized that she could do better, and she did.
Twitch streams
I love
live.
everything about them, and I actually want them for myself. So she's my choice.
Trying to unmute so she can say something because
Hi.
things are slow. That Twitch delay though.
And she did.
We can hear your volume.
Oh shit.
Technology.
Woo!
Hi. Thanks.
Absolutely.
All right. And now we're going to get to Treats. I hate technology sometimes. Treats, who is your Judge Award winner?
All right. My Judge Award goes to Chris because he did something that I am terrified of, and that's a clean paint job. It is flawless. It's seamless. His foam work is seamless. It's gorgeous. And the simplicity of the push button, I'm stealing that and I'm using that. It's awesome.
Hey. Awesome. Thank you.
No, it's so good. And I love the fact that you made it Iron Man, Cyberman for kids. That's just awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Our next award is the Host Award.
That's me.
All right, Jim.
Mine's gonna go to Mink as Toothless. She was an absolute doll.
Hang on, pulling up the video. I'm trying to go as quick as possible. It's just like boop, 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 and then you got the slight delay on
that's
Zoom.
okay.
Just looking at you, Deadpool.
Oh,
Like,
stop it, you.
Oh, stop.
No, I really liked your costume. You were very fun and bubbly, and I liked you doing all this the pounding for the scales. I thought that was super cool.
You just like my rage story. I mean, it's
I
hard
do.
not to like a
I
rage
do.
story, but
I
you're
love
basically
rage
made
stories.
of rage.
I do love them. I love it. You're great. You did fantastic. It goes to you.
Thank you.
Of course.
As I try to get things set, I accidentally hit the wrong one because Zoom likes to switch around and just go, poop, I'm going to switch the names that you're hitting. All right. Runner-up. Who do we have as runner-up?
This was hard.
It was so hard.
I bet it was. It was like a half an hour.
Sorry, we were really trying to be quick, but we were trying to be really
There
thorough.
were just so many things like putting them up against each other that it was, you know, it's. Was it a half an hour? It didn't seem like a half an hour.
It wasn't a half hour. He's over-exaggerating.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm blushing now. Okay, I will take the runner-up, and then someone else can announce the winner. Anyway, our runner-up is Mink the Satyr.
Oh.
So Deadpool, you chose well. So she gets
Thanks,
because hello. We loved that you created this whole look. You envisioned it yourself. You were like, and you, as you said, how do I turn Toothless into a sexy woman, human woman warrior? And you did it. And that tail is everything. Your work is so clean, and we love the character creation.
Thank you so much. That means the world to me.
All right.
Congratulations.
And now to our best in show, who will be going on to compete in August in the finals.
Ooh.
One of you two take it. I talk a lot, so someone else.
All right.
So our best in show is Dale.
Whoa, Dale.
And let's bring him up before we start talking.
There we go.
Thank you. I mean, this is.
There we are.
Thank you very much.
We just appreciated how everything was so crisp and clean, and just you could tell, you know, you did everything. What didn't you do? It was every little thing that you could do. The sculpting with the foam clay, and somebody else talk. I'm not a good talker.
Yeah. The fact that you incorporated so many new things and they were the first time you did them and they were still flawless and clean, it's so impressive.
We loved everything about you, from again all the new techniques that you took on, also to the way you presented it. You kind of invited us in to take this little journey with you as you talked about your costume from head to toe. As a body paint gal and a makeup fiend, I absolutely loved that. Again, you incorporated, you know, your costume up into your face with the contouring, and realizing that, you know, not just doing a flat color. I think it was amazing.
Appreciate that.
And
Always
your prop is awesome. Yeah, everything about it. Well done.
Yeah, dude, you knocked it out of the park. Woo!
Well, thank you very much, all of y'all.
All
So
right.
from Texas, thank y'all.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
We do have everybody's information too, so we'll be getting in touch with everybody that competed tonight, so that way we can get you know, everything to you. So again, thank you guys all for participating tonight. Judges, I want to once again, it's been one of those nights. Thank you guys so much. We got BD Character Lab, as I'm trying to go the right one. BD Character Lab, who is, you can follow him on Instagram, and he's got some amazing projects that you guys should check out. Some nice little statues and figurines that he's working on.
High on plastic toys.
Got
Hell yeah.
Gogo Incognito. Please follow Gogo as well on Facebook and Instagram. Tell them where they can find you. And which one?
Oh, I'm said ages 18 and over, please.
Yes. This is an adult costume contest, thankfully. So,
right.
And Treats Cosplay, you can follow him on Instagram as well. That's Treats with a Z. So you can see it up on the screen. I got it right here, Treats. So be sure to follow them. Be sure to follow Boston's Deadpool, or I think it's Doompool87 now on Instagram.
It's something Deadpool, but yeah. Boston's Deadpool. I'm on Facebook. Doompool. I'm here on Twitch. I twitched a lot of Doom. Who'd have thought?
And then, of course, Nerd Caliber. I know a bunch of people are watching on YouTube right now, so be sure to check them out and follow them and subscribe to them on YouTube. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Instagram. You can find Mr. Rodney Brown at First Person Shooter, I do believe. Does outstanding photo work. And then myself, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook. I don't really go much on Facebook, but Instagram at The Covenator. So thank you guys so much for watching the stream tonight. Congratulations to all the winners. And we hope to see you guys again in July for the July qualifier, which follow the information on Facebook, Instagram,